Good evening, everyone, and we have a very interesting update. We have a YouTube video of the DSP A-Wave A6, and some of the new features have added to some of the pages that need to be looked at when setting up. And we're today just discussing the Steg user interface, but the A-Wave one is the same. That is its sister, the A-Wave DSP A6 version 2. So the things we need to go through is that some of the input data has changed and how you set it up. So the first thing you do is you look out for the processor that you want. You only have to do this once because the software will recognize yours later. So today we're going to go through our most popular by far selling DSP at the moment, the Steg MDSP 6 version 2. So this is 4x50 watts RMS and 6-channel DSP out, so 2 RCAs for your subwoofer or other outputs, and it has input RCAs. So this is still relevant, slightly different on the MDSP 10. So we'll connect. Tonight we're going to connect. We don't have a processor, we're going to do this offline. So the software will show an offline mode, but all of the features will work the same. So here's the general interface. They look the same. Other processors will have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and up to 16. So this is the most common one used. Right, so some of the changes. The first thing they need to consider is the input 1 and 2. So when you open up the main cursor to use either high to low or RCA, if you use 4 line levels in, this is relevant that inputs 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 will be your front and rear, or your tweeter and your mid, or your full range and your mid bass if you use the amplifier within the DSP, and that will be for your RCA out. Noticing the input here says mix. Now this is the difference. So if you want to use one step down high to low or one RCA out of your head unit, you can change it, and we're first going to do the first step on inputs, how to do that. So if you use the main input like your head unit, high to low, the difference is when you stream with Bluetooth, the setup will change to 1 and 2 because Bluetooth only has a 1 and 2 channel input from the Bluetooth high-res streaming. So that's pretty easy. You can pretty much set up with a Bluetooth first, but when you cross over, the savings change to 3 and 4. So the first step that people must remember is that when you do your tuning, you start with the main. With the main input, that will be 1 and 2. Rear will be 3 and 4. If you use high level 1, 2, 3, and 4, those inputs can stay like that. So the first thing you want to do, let's consider, is that we are changing what speaker is being used here. So if we're going to do a normal system, so it will be front left tweeter for a 2-way setup. This will be the front right tweeter. Right tweeter. This is for a 2-way system running actively. In this one here, it will change to front, left, and this will be, say, a 6-inch. So mid-range woofer. Now this one here, that's number 4. Front, right, front, right, mid bass. That being done, obviously you have left and right subwoofer. You'll see that if you click on setting the subwoofer, it will already offer you a range that basically you can sort out. The reason why the range is not on there is because the mix is all the inputs. So currently what's coming in is a full range signal. So you have the high pass off, but let's start this in the right order. Okay, so the first challenge that you're going to have, if you use the main input and you don't use all 4 high level inputs and you use 1 RCA in, this is the first thing that you need to change. So the 3 and 4 here, the 3 and 4 is basically going to be, if you only have 1 RCA in, you're not going to get a signal here. So you go to mix. This opens the first time this new page. So the first one, 1 and 2, you can see where it's getting a signal from. Now what you want to do is come to number 3. We want 100% of your signal from a front input, which is either an RCA or A. Then these will be changed to naught. You're not going to use those inputs. You're not looking for input signal there. You probably don't have signal there. So when you mix channel 3, my mistake, this channel 3 now needs to be a left hand. So your left speaker for channel 1 is 100% from your left input. Channel 4 will be channel 2, channel 4. You'll want the right, which will be channel 2. That will become, you want all your signal from there, and you don't want it from any other input because we don't have the inputs. If you don't do this, you don't get sound out of 3 and 4. So 3 and 4, I personally do this. 100% out of there, and we don't take any signal from any other. It doesn't really matter, but just keep it tidy. Okay, 6, we're going from the right hand side input. The inputs that we aren't used, we just 0. And then that's your mix. So now you close the mix. And now all of them have changed to 1 and 2. This step's quite important because if you're on the main input, it looks for the option of a high level input or 4 RCA input. So this you've now sorted out with your inputs being 1 and 2 on all 6 of your channels. Now you've chosen the type of speaker. Then we go back to normal setting up of the Steg A-Wave processor. We always start channel 1 because you've chosen high pass. It'll give you a range. Let's say leave it at 4,000. Leave it at 4,000, but you want to change the crossover to Butterworth. Normal listening system. If you're doing sound quality for accuracy and that, you can use the Linkwitz filter option. But for a nice smooth everyday system, you just tune the Butterworth. To make speedier linking, you can link the two. That'll say, do you want all of 1 and 2 to be the same settings? Yeah, it'll be true. You'll see now when you measure channel 1, when you look at channel 2, it'll just change color. And you'll see they've been mirrored with the same 24 dB slope and a Butterworth filter. Right, so if that was a full range speaker, say a 3-inch full range all the way to the top, you change this frequency, the input, to say 550. And then with 550, 24 dB crossover, you'll see then you'll get a full range signal for the 3-inch. But for today's exercise, let's leave this as a tweeter, like most systems are, say 4,500. Now if I change that to 4,500, we just click it, it's right now. Now when you switch back to number channel 2 and 1, they'll be the same. So that's easier setting. Okay, right, so channel 3 and 4, they'll be the same. This will offer you, you can change to band pass. Now you want, say, 4,500 here. Crossover slope Butterworth. And say 4,500, let's just go generic, we go down to 80. And then that will take the shape of your crossover, 24 Butterworth. And then that will be your band pass. And there's your band pass speaker. So that will now show channel 3. When you click on channel 4, you didn't link it. So remember, just link them. Channel 3, link 4. You don't have to set 4 again. It'll ask you want them to be the same. Say OK. Then when you click onto channel 4, it'll have the same frequency response. You'll see it'll change color. Okay, so far the inputs we've done are a tweeter and the mid bass and the subwoofer. Now when I go to change channel 5, it already is a subwoofer. It's going to offer me the crossover low pass Butterworth and the low pass is going to be 80. 24 dB slope for today, 24, and then you'll see that will change to the slope that's desirable for your 240. So there's the shape. So when you switch from channel 5 to channel 6, again you can link the two. This is just really for a fast setup. And when channel 6 changes, you say, okay, I just actually want them to be exactly the same. Now they will change the color and they will just be the same frequencies. So that just makes your life easier. And they change colors, but they're the same. When you set your crossovers, it's fine to pair those things to link them up. If you later want to use the equalizer and you want to equalize the left mid-range or left tweeter, you need to unlock them so that the frequency response change at the equalized level will actually be individual speakers. So if you just want to do one, you go to one, you take the link off, and you can go down and you can change over here. You can see the EQ will respond there. Now that will just be for channel 1. Okay, so we'll just reset that. That's just an example if you have an RTA and you do the reading. Okay, so for today we're not doing that, we're not in a car. Now, the gains, you can put a RTA or even any generic thing in your car. Once you've set the time alignment and you've done the delay, then when you measure the RTA, these must all be the same SPL at the driver if your time alignment is right. So then you can just set in your distances or your meters per second. And once you've put them in, a quick test would be that all of these gains, if they need small changes, you can go to them until they're the same. Say you set them all on 80 dB, you can bring them down individually so that you're more likely to get a center image if that's all been done. So let's just go through it again. We've done the main feature, auxiliary is off. We've mixed it so that all of them are 1 and 2. That is an important step in the new software. Butterworth crossovers, standard 4500, band pass for 3 and 4. And there we go, the band pass. And then your low pass, that's there. So that's basically your first setting. At this stage, before you do any other settings, I would save. Here's your save preset. I'd like to save this at number 1. Save preset 1. So at the moment you can't save preset 1 because we are offline. So now you need to save it on the computer. So you save as, and you describe this over here. Got a couple in there, then you just type in the car. This is today. So this is, say you're doing a new Polo, and it's a Polo setting, and then when you save it and this goes online, you can actually just drag and all the presets that you've done, waiting for it. So when you open it, it'll offer you all of those, and there's the Polo we just did, and the settings will go in once it goes online. So that's just a quick review about the setup of the processor. Now a little bit about the inputs. So this has OTG, optical, high level, and digital coaxial. Remembering that the auto is when you have signal sensing from your high level input, and then ACCs if you have a remote, and basically that will give you remember when you turn it on, the process will stay off if that setting is incorrect. Right, so there's your line inputs if you use RCAs 1 and 2, or 3 and 4 if you have a head unit with more RCA outputs. And then this is if you want to use this as a 6-channel DSP straight away. That's your PC controller, and that's your DRC remote controller for your whole system. This is a little Aerolink station for the Bluetooth high-res streaming device, and those are outputs, and the other side is your inputs. So again, optical, OTG, and digital coaxial, and high level. So you have all the features available to set up any system in a few minutes.